Hello, my name is Justin Drake. This is my Civ 110 presentation on hurricane-resistant. On average, hurricanes damage 28 billion a year in the United States, and with Hurricane Florence recently hitting us, property damage and disruption from it is expected to total at least 17 billion to 22 billion. Now, who pays for it? The Federal Emergency Management Agency pays almost 2/3 of the government's bill. The Department of Housing and Urban Development and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers pay a little more than a third. State and local governments, insurance, and private individuals pay the rest. MIT models predict that by 2035, there will be more hurricanes in general, and 11% of these hurricanes will be a Category 3, 4, and 5 class. Now, before building the house, paying attention to the floodplain is important. Floodplain management is the operation of a program of preventative and corrective measures for reducing flood damage. The Atlantic coast, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Hawaiian Islands are the most vulnerable to hurricanes in the United States. So with designing the appropriate house should be based on your flood zones. There are 5 basic guidelines to designing and building a hurricane-resistant home. You have to minimize storm damage to the house, keep the rain and moisture out, elevate the structures, build materials that can withstand hurricane force winds and rain, design assemblies to easily dry when they get wet. Now, designing of the house, what should be expected is that wind can't build up enough pressure on any side of the house to cause a structural failure, and it needs to be circular for the structures to transfer environmental loads most efficiently. A radical floor and roof trusses works like spokes on a wheel. Energy from wind is dispersed instead of building up in a single area. Roof and floor strengthens the home and prevents flying debris from penetrating the structure. Walls have multiple construction ties to the floor for structural stability and to transfer shear forces. Continuous metal strapping from roof trusses to foundation helps maintain structural stability. Reinforced windows with impact glass prevent wind and water from entering the home. Enhanced insulation maintains a balanced temperature inside the home. Reflective metal roof helps reduce radiant heat gain in the home. A passive solar design helps heat and cool the building through appropriate window placement. The type of foundation should be based on your location of the house. Based on the flood zone is how you should choose your foundation. There are 3 basic foundations in choosing for your hurricane-resistant home. A pier foundation has no cavity insulation, non-water sensitive materials, assemblies designed to dry cavities, and can be opened to dry after a moisture event. And the second one is a elevated crawl space. One that has no cavity insulation and wall or subfloor, assemblies designed to dry. Cavities can be opened to dry after a moisture event. Elevated slabs is the third one, which has a non-water sensitive material. On first level, cavity insulation. On second level is non-water sensitive and vapor open. Attic is conditioned and unvented, reducing wind uplift forces and attic pressurization. Now, the building materials used you will need, or most sensitive building materials in use today are paper forest gypsum board and fiberglass cavity insulation. You need to use a non-paper faced gypsum board on the inside of the assemblies and on the exterior of non-combustible assemblies. The insulation of the exterior can be a semi-fiberglass foam plastic board or rock wool, and you also need a uninsulated steel frame versus a wooden frame due to mold and your chances of bugs escaping into your house, such as termites destroying the framing. And with walls, there are 2 different types of walls that are recommended: an uninsulated steel frame and a masonry mass wall. The uninsulated steel frame cavities are empty and can be ventilated to interior after moisture events. No moisture sensitive materials used in assemblies is recommended. And with the masonry mass wall, assembly insulated with non-water sensitive semi-vapor preamble rigid foam interior cavity designed to be opened after moisture event and ventilated. And so with non-water sensitive interior insulation, the house can be conditioned with the attic using vapor open spray foam conditioned. Attic is preferred for the Havoc system. And it is recommended to replace wood for plastic and fiber, cement exterior trim, and cladding elements installed over a ventilated exterior airspace. And with the exterior insulation, it has a open insulated cavity with, of course, non-water sensitive materials, and with this easily to be dried with the assembly that is designed and designated, and to egress skylight to allow escape from rising water, havoc systems, and conditioned attic. And so, of course, you don't, with hurricanes, they are known for having high force winds, so you want it to have a reinforced impact resistant doors with laminated windows. Or you can have storm resistant windows or hurricane shutters to pull down PVC shutters systems and high impact synthetic window shades, all to contribute to a home's impact resistance. Advanced framing systems with 2x6 steel studs combined with structural panel sheathing adds strength to the walls, as does high density wallboard with embedded mesh. USG's enhanced wall panels, for example, offer up to 5 times the impact resistance of a regular wallboard. Garage doors are a particular weak point. It is recommended that these types of doors should be braced to withstand a maximum wind speed of 180 miles per hour. Now, after a hurricane or a flooding, you want this is how the house should by itself regulate so that it can dry faster, with the airflow in the main way to dry the house. Cavities that are designed within the walls in the house should be designed to be ventilated. Interior cavities should not maintain absorptive insulation, and the interior cavities should be designed to allow vent opening to be easily provided at the top and the bottom to provide ventilation airflow. The materials and cells should be a vapor open in addition to being non-water sensitive to facilities drying by diffusion. The caveat to consider is that interior ventilated cavities have fire consequences. Cavities should be sealed and compartmentalized under normal service conditions and only opened after a moisture event to facilitate drying. And this is we're excited to use for this project. And that is it. Thank you and have a nice day.